Chipper, what's going on, man?
Doing good, man. Just working hard.
Working hard, hitting
Yeah.
goals and working hard.
Heck yeah.
Wanted to pull you today. I know you hit 10K recently and kind of just talk through. I know you began this year. Was it February around that mark?
Yeah, it was I think last week in January was my first clean, but February really getting off the ground.
Cool. And I think you hit it last week. I think we're kind of in the mid stages of April here. So it's only
Mhm.
been a couple months. So I want to first just congratulate you for hitting the goal and doing what you set out to do. Why don't you quickly walk us through your journey in your words to this point? Maybe you can start us in the beginning, like, hey, like I'm even thinking about doing this, and maybe walk us through that decision to begin with.
Okay.
And then, how did you get from that point to even here?
Okay. Yeah. I guess before I even started the program with you guys, I'd been considering my options in terms of starting a business, buying a business, and I wanted something that I could do in hand with my 9 to 5, something that wasn't going to be super time demanding, but would be really rewarding and profitable eventually as well. Ran into you on LinkedIn, saw some of your posts, and I felt like I didn't know if it was going to be cleaning or something else, but I felt like that would be a good option for me to start just because of the simplicity of the business model and the product offering. And so in late November, December, I kind of started talking to you guys, made the decision to go. And then from there until January, it took me a minute to get my business up and going, all of the kind of the groundwork, foundational stuff. And then in January, started hiring cleaners. I think I was very fortunate in the cleaners that I was able to hire. We really lucked out with some good people on our team early on. And then in February and March, that was really just getting our name out there, figuring out how we were going to do advertising and marketing and the different channels that we were going to utilize. And then kind of the best way for me to capitalize on those. It was a little bit of a struggle. And I think the growth and hitting that 10K goal could have happened faster if I understood how to balance my time with this and my 9 to 5 job and how to do those both together. And I feel like April, I really put that together, and that's why we're seeing the success we are.
Cool. And I'll just say, I think with everyone, figuring out balancing between job and a side hustle is always going to be, if you've never done it before, for sure a learning curve, because you need to understand, okay, what are the core things I need to do for my 9 to 5? And then within the pockets of time, how do I best use that in the most efficient manner? So I don't think that's an overnight thing, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So don't be too hard on yourself on not getting there sooner. I still think you did it pretty quick, all things considered. Well, that's great. So maybe you can walk us through, okay, you went through this whole process now, at least from the 0 to 1 moment. Like, what for you was the most valuable part of the program? And where did you find the most value, I guess, in terms of everything that was kind of provided?
Yeah, I think overall the program provides great tools, and whether it's the website builder, like all those templates you gave us, just the different tools to manage and operate a business, that made it really easy to set things up. I think the biggest value was when I ran into problems and ran into questions, I knew immediately who to turn to ask. And usually it was a quick response, usually exactly what I needed to just quickly address the issue that I was having, whether it was with hiring, with new customers and setting expectations, whatever it was. I feel like without that, there would be a little bit more scrambling and just time wasted on my end. But because I had you and Mike, it was easy to just have a resource right there.
Cool. I appreciate that. And I think from my side, just kind of working alongside you're definitely someone who understood that if I get this feedback back as fast as I can progress quicker.
Mm-hmm.
I think oftentimes, I find people even like trying to do something yourself for too long is actually kind of a net negative opportunity cost of your time. So if you understand that your first response is just get help with it so I can move to the next problem, because all this is just a series of problems that need to get solved ultimately. Mm-hmm. I think that's where you find a lot of success, or at least that's why I thought you did well. It's like as soon as that happened, you weren't going to wait 2 weeks to get this thing solved.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that a lot of those questions came in my first 2 months of like February and March. And then April, it was more just implementation. Like you said, we hit 10K last week. We actually just hit 15K today for the month of April.
Nice.
So congrats, we're rolling now. Yeah, I feel like we have it really figured out, and it's just very integrated into a defined process that I can repeat over and over again. So it's it looks good for this month, and we're set up well for summer too.
20Ks and beyond.
Heck yeah.
Cool. So I guess speaking of summer months and kind of forward looking, how are you viewing the business now? Obviously, you know, getting from 0 to 1 is one part of the equation. I think there's life after that too, and like continuing the journey as an entrepreneur and a business owner. How do you view this business, I guess, for the remainder of 2025 and beyond?
Yeah, I think when I look at the goals that I have set out for where I want to take this, at least this year, a lot of it comes down to networking and creating those relationships that bring recurring revenue. A lot of the times that is just a single family home. Sometimes that's apartment complexes. And so we're trying to place more of our focus on those sorts of opportunities so that we have these long-term customers. And then I think the second piece would just be efficiency, keeping costs low, understanding how I can market and advertise most effectively, and spending those dollars in ways that really yields the greatest revenue return on that. I think that last month and this month that we were just kind of throwing whatever money we had into marketing and ads, and we were still able to turn a profit this month when you look at all of our costs compared to revenues. But I'd like to take those margins higher just throughout the remainder of this year and really make it to where it's a profitable business and I don't have to spend as much time in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. And maybe the last question here is like, if someone was on the fence about doing something like this, what would you tell them based on your experience?
I would say it's tough. But really, if you're on the fence about anything, and you feel like it could be really good, vet it, do your research, ask around for reviews and all that stuff. But once you feel good, kind of push that doubt to the side and just go. Like the only thing that is really preventing you from seeing success in this is like inaction. And so I think if you take that action, take that first step, it starts rolling, you see success.
All right. Those are good words. Chipper, good job on taking action. I'm proud of you for hitting the goal. Obviously, you're already at 15K. I think that there's future goals to be hit very, very soon. So congratulations. It's been a pleasure, and look forward to your future, man.
Absolutely. Thanks, Michael. Appreciate it.